Many Magic players lament the fact that booster boxes are out of reach and almost too expensive to consider buying anymore. But there are boxes out there, and there is sealed product that you can buy that's going to cost you $100 or less. So in today's video, we are going to discuss the secondary market for sealed product and where you may be able to find some deals for $100 or less. It should come as no surprise to anyone out there that players who like to open sealed product are now looking for the best experience at the best price. Welcome back everyone, MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on the channel. A reminder, if you enjoyed today's content, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, new content every single day. Now what we're talking about today is the idea that we have seen the old draft boxes. 36 packs, 15 cards a pack that we all knew and loved for the last 20-something years. They gave us the set box, which had 30 packs, and it cost about 10 to 15 bucks more because they promised extra goodies inside to make you get all excited. And then, with the release of Murders at Karlov Manor, which did horribly by the way, we had the amalgamation of set and draft into something called the Play Booster Box. Well, nowadays, if you're buying a Play Booster Box in Canada, you're paying $205 to $210 Canadian per box, when boxes used to cost around $130 to $150 Canadian, depending on the release and if there was a small deal or a sale going on at an LGS. That's a massive difference in price. Now in the US it's not nearly as bad, but a lot of these boxes are still more than you used to pay. And you guys are all well aware of it. Different areas have different tax levels and all that stuff, so I'm not going to comment on every individual area, but the idea that the cards in these boxes have now cost us more to buy a sealed box has changed the way that players engage with the product, to the point where people like myself who bought a case of draft, a case of set, and a case of collector no longer buy any. So my drop off is 100%. Some people are 50 or 60% less, some people are 100% less like myself, and some people, they haven't changed their habits at all and they've just kept buying it even at the increased price. Everyone's got a different budget to work with. For me, it was the increasing price when I realized how good the singles can be, and many of you guys went down that same path. But for the players who want to open a box, like myself, have a good night with friends, play a mini draft of six packs each, have a little mini pre-release for ourselves with 6 friends, you were always looking for a good deal. And the deals are out there, but they do not come from Wizards of the Coast right now. They're not coming from distribution per se. They're coming from your LGS who's already purchased the product. They buy it, they own it, and when they decide to liquidate, they can put it on sale, especially the larger stores who get some kind of volume discount. Nothing massive like we all think they do, but they get some kind of discount that allows them to clear the product out at not too heavy of a loss. But when those deals are done, in the next few years, when all of these boxes dry up, that will no longer be an option. And those boxes I'm going to share with you today, there are 5 I'm going to share with you guys. Those 5 right now are a fantastic price for what you're going to get. And I will show you the Canadian prices, but I will convert it to US to let you guys know what you'd be paying in the US if you were going for one of these boxes right now, so you can actually determine for yourself if it's a deal. And we're going to talk about some of these crazy cards inside because yes, they'll all get reprinted at some point, but some of the values on these boxes may really surprise you. So let's stop yada yada this whole video and let's get into these boxes and show you what I'm talking about. Let's get started. Now the first box I want to share with everyone is going to be Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Here's a draft box for $159.95 Canadian, which puts it at around $101.90 US. Now if you look at the cards inside this box, if you wanted to buy this 36 pack box, and you said from 101 bucks, what are my chances? What are the cards I could possibly get? Well, for the rares and stuff, you got things like the Atsushi the Blazing Sky, you got things in the mythic slot like Jitaxis, Kodama of the West Tree, the Wandering Emperor. For rares, let's not forget all the land cycle. Iliganju, the Sea of the Empire, Bozaju, who endures, Taknuma the Mire. We've also got Otawara, the Soaring City. Then you've also got the neon cards. Now I know they're not going to be found here, but the idea that those were still inside this set is crazy. We also have Fable the Mirror Breaker too, don't we? And Farewell, which has kind of made a recovery. There's a lot of value to this box. There's a lot of understanding that this box here, the value you'd find inside could be anywhere from 60 bucks all the way up to 150, because there is 36 packs with rares and mythics at different levels. You probably get 4 or 5 mythics, and you get the rest in rares, but there's a lot of value inside the rare slots. We got all these land cycle like Otawara in them at rare, means you have a good chance of getting a few of these lands in a particular box, which can recoup a lot of value. Now understand, that would be direct value. That is going to be value you would find by selling it on things like TCG Player or whatever, not to a store getting 50%. Let's understand that together, but it's just interesting to think that there's that much value here inside boxes like this. Now for our next box, take a look at this. This is the Brothers War. Now this here is still in rotation. You can still use this bad boy, but when you look at the Brothers War, this is $134.95 Canadian per box, okay? But if that was in the US, it'd be $93.20 US. And let's not forget the cards inside here. Awaken the Woods, you've got the Cityscape Leveler, you got Gix, we got Mishra, Muriel, the Shield of Argive, whatever. Portal to Phyrexia, to Tana, we got the Voice of the Woods, right? Voice of Gaia. Then you've also got things like Urza, and then there's a whole smattering of uncommons and other rares at that $2-3 level. This box here could be anywhere from like 80 to like 160 bucks. There could be a lot of value inside. It doesn't mean you're going to hit it every time, but when you're looking at this box for less than 200 US versus a play booster box of the Murders at Karlov Manor, you could get 2 Brothers War boxes. And that's insane to me to think that the value in the deals could be there that players don't recognize when they look at products like this because they've already gone by. But the idea of having a pre-release night or drafting with friends, it can leave a lot around for you to enjoy and play with. Now, okay, here we have the Streets of New Capenna. $119.95 Canadian, which puts a box like that, I think, at like 82 bucks. I think it's 82.77 Canadian if you want to buy a box of Streets of New Capenna. Now, let's not forget, this thing's got the Triome lands. You got like Jetmir's Garden, we got Ledger Shredder, Raffine's Tower, Sparrow's Headquarters, Xander's Lounge. We have got Angel of Suffering, Bootlegger's Stash, we got Jetmir, Ob Nixilis, right? Raffine. You've got great cards inside the box for less than 100 bucks. This thing can easily come out ahead with a few choice lands and a couple of good mythics. So a card box like this can actually break even pretty easily, but it doesn't mean that's the experience you're looking for. You have to decide if this is the box that's right for you, but buying it at 80 bucks seems like a steal. The funny thing is, boxes like this aren't going to last forever. They will get absorbed by the market eventually, and the new pricing structure that's coming in from Wizards of the Coast eventually takes over the market space and gives us something entirely new. So now, okay, our next one, we got the Midnight Hunt. Remember these bad boys? Now, Midnight Hunt, this one's a little more interesting. Again, same price, $119.95, puts us at like $82.77. Now, Meathook Massacre is here, okay? And that's still like, what, a $30, $40 card. You got Lear the Drowned, you got the Poppet Stitcher. You got a few cards. You got some of the lands too, like the Haunted Ridge and stuff. There are some decent cards, but this value in this box could be so far swinging. It could be as low as 25 bucks or as high as 90. So you could break even, but you lose like 60% of your value. A box like this, you have to want to experience. Innistrad, you got to be able to want to go there and have a good night with some friends. I think this would be a box you'd probably want to mix into like a Chaos Draft, but there's still the experience, the play, the fun of building. So you could build, remember, 6 people could play this, and you can share that cost for less than 20 bucks, and you all get 6 packs. That's crazy to me. That is an amazing deal for players to get into. And of course, the last box is going to be Crimson Vow. Now, Crimson Vow has a lot more going for it than people realize. This box, it's going to be pretty hard not to break even. Okay, you got the lands like the Deathcap Glade, Dream Root. We've also got things like the Mythics in the Cemetery Prowler, Sorin the Mirthless. They had the Dracula versions and stuff. The Cultivator Colossus, the Hallowed Haunting. There's a lot there. Isn't the Necro Duality there and Toxrill as well, like that slug guy? There's a lot going on inside a box like this that lets you realize the value for these products is huge, and the play experience for your money is definitely there for all of those boxes. Whether you like that particular set or not, you have to admit that being able to have a pre-release with your friends at a very limited cost basis means you can all basically pay 20 bucks and get your 6 packs. You get to keep the cards at the end, and you could play this over and over again like any board game, any card game. You could re-experience it, but also the idea you could buy multiple boxes and mixing your own chaos draft will hopefully lead to a very rewarding evening of fun with your friends, and you're doing it on a budget, so you're saving money. But the interesting thing is these deals are not limited to the 5 boxes that I shared with you today. These aren't the only deals out there. Things like Dominaria United, Ixalan, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. There are a few other boxes out there that are actually a little bit lower in price right now because they're not seeing as much sales action. But as these boxes become absorbed, and as the market finally eats up the last of them and all we have left are play booster boxes, the prices will shift because they're just a more expensive product overall. And we'll have to kind of, just absorb it and say that we don't have a choice. But there will be other deals. There are other opportunities, but price memory, as we've always talked about in this channel, your memory will remind you of what you used to pay, and you'll always be a little bit bitter unless you can just accept the fact that things cost more in life, things are more expensive to buy, and if you want to have that same experience, sometimes you have to pay a little more. So it's now, in moments like this, where you can enjoy it at a lower price, buy them when they're cheaper, store them away, and enjoy them on a nice Saturday night, a nice evening with friends, a game night of some type, and maybe recoup a lot of value depending on which cards, by the way, go up or down. Because we always know there are always cards inside booster boxes, commons, uncommons, rares, mythics, that actually shift in price. If they don't get a reprint, if they become really sought after in a commander build or other products, sometimes these actually go up in price, and that can just be an extra added bonus of the experience of playing the game. So thanks a lot, guys. I hope you enjoyed the information I shared with you guys today. Let me know if you see any cool deals wherever you guys are. I'm very interested to know. Drop some comments in the comment section, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of my channel. Because of the patrons here supporting my channel, daily uploaded content gets put together, and it's because of all of you out there, so thanks again for supporting. Whether you're a patron or a YouTube membership member, you make it happen, and guys, I can't tell you how thankful I am to have you here every day with me. Have a great one, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. First off, welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. I am coffee deprived. Do you know that I don't have one with me right now? It's okay. I'll make it. So, when I look at the box prices, and you see a box like this for 230 bucks Canadian plus tax, and I could get 1 box of Streets of New Capenna and 1 box of Dominaria United, 1 box of each for the same price, that drives me nuts. Now, I could buy a box of Streets of New Capenna and then add in a box of, Ixalan and pay an extra 30, 40 bucks, but I still get 2 boxes. And depending on why you're doing it in your experience, I'm not saying invest in boxes. There's no market for that right now. But if things turn around at some point, as the boxes drift up just naturally because of the price of what we've seen with play booster boxes, at some point, the new stuff that players are really falling in love with, the flashy players, they will look back at some point at some of the older boxes. It's just natural attrition and habits make you look back and say, well, what are the blocks? A few people do it, then a whole avalanche. Anyway, things can happen is what I'm saying. Good deals will come around and go. Keeping some powder dry in case you see a good deal is a good thing. And that's all I want to talk about. So that's the Ramble Jamble for today. Have a great one, guys.